Why the right person always comes at the wrong time. In life, love rarely unfolds according to our plans. We envision the perfect timing, the ideal circumstances, and the right moment when love will enter our lives in a way that feels effortless and aligned. But often, when the right person arrives, it feels like the wrong time. Our hearts may not be ready, our circumstances may be complicated, or we may be on a path that seems to conflict with this connection. This is not a mistake. This is divine timing at work. The universe doesn't operate on human schedules, nor does it conform to our idea of what perfect timing should look like. Instead, it brings the right people into our lives exactly when we need them, even if it doesn't seem convenient at first. If you've ever met someone who felt like the right person at the wrong time, there's a deeper reason behind it. Today, as someone with decades of experience in divine wisdom and relationship counseling, I want to share with you why this happens and how to navigate it. 1. The universe moves according to spiritual timing, not human timing. We often think of time in a linear way, believing that love should come after a certain level of personal success, healing, or stability. But the universe doesn't work in straight lines. It operates in divine cycles and lessons. When the right person comes at what feels like the wrong time, it's often because your soul is ready, even if your mind isn't. You may think you need to be more successful, more emotionally healed, or more prepared, but love enters when it's meant to, not when it's convenient. Sometimes, the universe will send a soulmate or deep connection to accelerate your growth, challenge you, or force you to see something in yourself that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. The discomfort of the wrong time is actually an invitation to expand. 2. Growth often comes through discomfort. We assume that love should only enter our lives when everything is perfect. But true love, especially love that is meant to transform us, often comes when we're in the middle of personal change, uncertainty, or growth. Why? Because growth comes from discomfort. The people we are most destined to meet will often show up when we are still becoming the best version of ourselves. Instead of arriving when everything is stable, they appear in the middle of transitions, heartbreaks, career changes, or spiritual awakenings. You may meet someone right before you move to another city, right when you've sworn off dating, or at a moment when you feel emotionally closed off. This is because love isn't about timing. It's about readiness. And readiness isn't about having everything figured out. It's about having the willingness to open your heart despite the uncertainty. 3. The wrong time forces us to make a choice. When the right person enters our lives at a time that feels impossible, we are forced to make a choice. Do we trust in this connection, even if it doesn't make sense? Do we surrender to the unknown and allow ourselves to embrace love? Or do we resist, believing that better timing will come later? Often, the wrong time is the perfect test of faith. It asks us, are we willing to trust in the universe's plan, even when we don't understand it? Sometimes, we push people away because of fear. We tell ourselves that we need to be more successful, more whole, or more healed before we can fully receive love. But love is not something we prepare for, it's something we allow. For love shows us what truly matters. When the right person comes at the wrong time, it forces us to reevaluate our priorities. Maybe you thought your career was the most important thing in your life, until this person arrived and showed you that love and connection matter just as much. Maybe you believed you had to be fully healed before entering a relationship, until this person taught you that real love is part of the healing process. The right person shakes up our reality and makes us question everything we thought we knew about timing, love, and our life's path. This is not a disruption. It's an awakening. The question is, are you willing to listen? 5. The connection serves a higher purpose. Not every love story is meant to be easy. Some connections are meant to teach, awaken, and shift our souls, even if they don't follow the traditional path. Sometimes, the wrong time is actually a divine test to see if we're willing to choose love despite the circumstances. Other times, the connection is meant to plant a seed, one that will bloom later when the time is right. But one thing is always true. Every soul connection has a purpose. Some people come into our lives to show us what's possible. Some enter to heal something deep within us. Some arrive to mirror our own growth and transformation. The timing may not make sense right now, but trust that this person has entered your life for a reason. 6. Sometimes you're meant to meet before you're meant to be together. There's a divine mystery in why some people come into our lives at the wrong time. But sometimes the universe introduces you to the right person before you are meant to be together. This means that you may meet them at a time when you are still growing into the person you need to be. You may have unfinished soul lessons that need to be learned before you can fully align with them. There may be obstacles that are meant to test your commitment, patience, or faith. But just because the time isn't right now doesn't mean the connection isn't real. Some love stories are written in multiple chapters, and sometimes the first meeting is just the beginning. Trust that if this person is truly meant for you, divine timing will find a way. 7. Love is meant to challenge, not just comfort. We often think of love as something that should feel easy, effortless, and perfectly timed. But real, divine love is meant to challenge us as much as it comforts us. It asks us to grow. It calls us to face our fears. It requires us to be vulnerable, even when we feel unprepared. When the right person comes at what feels like the wrong time, it's an invitation to step outside of our comfort zone. It's the universe's way of asking, are you ready to choose love, even when it doesn't come wrapped in perfect circumstances? Final thoughts. Trust the timing of your life. If you've met someone who feels like the right person at the wrong time, trust that there's a greater plan unfolding, one that you may not fully understand yet. Love doesn't follow our schedules. It arrives when our soul is ready, not when our mind believes we are. The timing may feel inconvenient, but it is never accidental. So instead of resisting the connection, ask yourself, what is this person here to teach me? What fears or limiting beliefs are being challenged through this connection? Am I willing to surrender to the divine timing of my life? Because sometimes what feels like the wrong time is actually the exact moment you were meant to meet them. Trust, love, and let the universe work its magic.